Jungkook admits he still gets nervous before every stage. Is the golden magne starting to lose his confidence? Or are we finally seeing his most human side? Is it possible that the idol the world calls perfect still trembles in the dark just seconds before the spotlight hits his face? And if Jungkook, the golden magne of BTS, admits that he gets nervous before stepping on stage, what does that really mean? Does it signal a crack in his legendary confidence? Or does it reveal a deeper, more powerful truth about what it takes to survive at the top? The confession came quietly, almost gently, in an exclusive video interview with Rolling Stone Japan released on January 19, 2026. There was no dramatic music, no tears, no scandalous headline, just Jungkook sitting calmly on a black sofa, dressed in a black leather jacket and gray pants, wearing simple accessories, greeting viewers with a soft smile and the words, "Hello, this is Jungkook." Yet within minutes, one sentence from him would ignite intense discussion across social media. Before going on stage, "Of course I get nervous." Of course. Those two words alone were enough to shake millions of fans. Of course he gets nervous. But should he? Isn't Jungkook the one who seems born for the stage, who sings like breathing, who dances like instinct, who rarely misses a note and almost never looks unsure? Isn't he the one fans describe as effortlessly perfect? And yet, there he was, admitting that before every performance, fear still sits beside him. The reaction was immediate and emotional. Some fans felt closer to him than ever, saying this honesty made him feel more real, more human. Others felt a strange worry creeping in, asking whether the pressure of global fame, endless expectations, and the brutal K-pop industry might finally be wearing him down. One confession, one simple sentence, and suddenly the internet was asking a dangerous question. Is Jungkook losing confidence? But perhaps the real question is deeper. What if nervousness is not weakness at all? What if it is the very thing that keeps Jungkook sharp, alive, and honest on stage? In the same interview, Jungkook didn't stop at admitting fear. He explained how he deals with it. He said that even when he feels nervous, he tells himself to enjoy the moment first. He said that even if he cracks a note or stumbles, he tries to put that aside and remind himself to have fun. That mindset, he explained, is what allows him to survive the stage again and again. This wasn't the voice of someone giving up. It sounded like the voice of someone who knows exactly how fragile success can be and how hard you have to fight to keep it. The interview itself felt intimate in a quiet way. Jungkook spoke about his experiences in Japan, about meeting Japanese army, and how their cheering style surprised him. He said they would cheer perfectly, then suddenly go quiet, then cheer perfectly again, a rhythm that felt unique and special to him. He said it left a strong impression, something he would remember. He talked about Sapporo, about cold weather, draft beer, and soup curry, and how simple experiences like food and climate could still excite him despite having seen the world. But it was his words about performing that cut the deepest. He said that many people think appearance is the most important thing: expressions, outfits, visuals. But for him, there are only two things that truly matter: singing and dancing. He said he is not good at multitasking, so he shuts everything else out. Even if his face doesn't look perfect, he doesn't care. That is his real singing face. People came to see the show, he said, and quality matters most. Those words didn't sound like someone losing confidence. They sounded like someone who has stripped performance down to its rawest form: voice, body, and truth. And yet, the word nervous kept echoing. Why did that one word hit fans so hard? Maybe because for years, Jungkook has been treated not like a human being, but like a symbol. The youngest member of BTS, debuting as a teenager, growing up under cameras, praised for being good at everything: singing, dancing, visuals, sports, art. The nickname Golden Magne wasn't just cute. It was heavy. It meant perfection was expected, always. Perfection doesn't leave much room for fear. So when Jungkook says he still gets nervous, it breaks the illusion. It reminds everyone that behind the flawless performances, behind the viral fan cams, behind the stadium screams, there is a man who still feels his heart race before walking into the light. Some fans celebrated this. They said, "See? He's just like us." They said it made them love him more. They said it gave them comfort to know that even someone like Jungkook feels fear but keeps going anyway, but others felt uneasy. They asked if this meant the pressure is finally too much. They wondered if years of constant evaluation, endless tours, global expectations, and now a massive solo career with albums like Golden have slowly chipped away at his confidence. They worried about his mental health, even though he never said he was struggling. They read fear into a sentence that might simply mean he cares deeply, and that is the danger of loving someone in the public eye. Every word becomes a mirror for our own fears. Jungkook never said he wanted to stop. He never said he felt broken. He never said he was losing faith in himself. What he said was that he gets nervous, and that he chooses to enjoy the moment anyway. That he chooses fun over fear. That he chooses singing and dancing over perfection. In an industry where idols are trained to hide weakness, his honesty felt almost rebellious. Rolling Stone Japan didn't frame the interview as a crisis. They framed it as insight. They showed him relaxed, smiling, thoughtful. The clip went viral not because it was shocking, but because it felt real. Fans translated it, shared it, quoted it, argued over it. Some called it inspiring. Some called it worrying. But everyone was talking. And maybe that's because Jungkook's nervousness forces people to face a hard truth. Greatness is not the absence of fear. It is what you do while fear is still there. Think about it. If Jungkook truly had no nerves at all, what would that mean? Would it mean he no longer cares? Would it mean the stage has become boring? Would it mean the magic is gone? Nervousness can be a sign of love. You don't get nervous about things you don't care about. You don't feel your heart race for something that means nothing to you. Fear before a performance can mean you respect the audience. It can mean you want to give them something worthy. Jungkook said people came to see the show, and quality matters most. That sounds like someone who feels responsibility, not insecurity. Still, the timing of his confession makes people wonder. The K-pop industry is changing. BTS members are exploring solo paths. Expectations are higher than ever. Social media never sleeps. Every note is judged, every move compared, every moment dissected. Even a global superstar is not safe from doubt. Fans who worry about Jungkook's confidence are not wrong to care. Pressure is real. Burnout is real. The industry is not gentle. But fear alone is not proof of damage. Sometimes it is proof of passion. In the same interview, Jungkook talked about enjoying the cold, enjoying food, enjoying meeting fans. Those are not the words of someone who has lost joy. They are the words of someone who still finds wonder in small things. He also said that if he cracks a note or stumbles, he tries to put it aside. That means mistakes still happen, and he accepts them. Perfection has never been his real goal. Connection has. Maybe the real shock is not that Jungkook gets nervous. Maybe the real shock is that fans ever believed he shouldn't, because idols are trained to look fearless. They are trained to smile through exhaustion. They are trained to make everything look easy. When they admit something is hard, it feels like the world tilts. But what if this confession is not a sign of decline, but a sign of maturity? A younger Jungkook might have tried to hide his nerves. An older Jungkook can talk about them openly. There is power in that in a world where strength is often confused with silence. Jungkook chose honesty. He didn't dramatize it. He didn't cry about it. He simply said it calmly. Of course I get nervous. Of course. Fans will continue to debate. Some will always worry. Some will always defend. That is the nature of loving someone you cannot protect. But when Jungkook steps on stage again, when the lights rise and the music begins, the world will watch what really matters, not his fear, but what he does with it. Will his voice still cut through the noise? Will his dance still pull eyes toward him? Will his presence still make stadiums feel small? If history tells us anything, the answer is yes. And maybe, just maybe, the reason his performances still feel alive is because somewhere just before the curtain rises, his heart is beating fast. Not because he is weak, but because he still cares enough to be afraid. So is the golden magne losing confidence? Or is he showing us that even gold is shaped by fire? And even legends are built from trembling hands that refuse to stop moving. The next time Jungkook walks onto a stage, remember this. Behind the flawless performance you see, There is a moment you never will, a quiet second in the dark, a deep breath, a nervous heartbeat, and a decision to step forward anyway. And in that unseen moment, right before the music starts, before the crowd roars, before the cameras capture every angle, there's a version of Jungkook the world rarely talks about. Not the superstar, not the icon, not the golden magne. Just a man standing at the edge of sound and light, feeling his chest tighten for a second, then choosing to walk forward. That choice is everything, because confidence is not the absence of fear. Confidence is the decision to move even when fear is still breathing beside you. And if Jungkook still feels nervous, maybe that is not a crack in his strength, but proof that his heart has not gone numb. Fans who worry about his mental state often forget something important. Jungkook has grown up in public. Every phase of his life has been watched, recorded, judged, praised, criticized. He was a child when he debuted. He learned how to perform before he fully learned who he was. For someone like that, nervousness is not strange. It is natural. It is the body reminding the soul that what is about to happen still matters. Did I end the Rolling Stone Japan interview? Jungkook didn't talk like someone drowning. He talked like someone who has learned how to swim in deep water. He spoke about enjoying the moment first, even before worrying about perfection. That is not weakness. That is survival. He said that even if he cracks a note or stumbles, he tells himself to have fun. That sentence alone carries years of experience. It means he has failed before. It means he has been embarrassed before. It means he has stood on stage knowing millions are watching and chosen joy over shame. That is not the voice of a man losing confidence. That is the voice of a man who has rebuilt it many times. Yet fans still ask, why now? Why is he saying this now? Maybe because Jungkook is no longer trying to be a fantasy. Maybe he is tired of being untouchable. Maybe he wants to be seen not as a myth, but as a person. His solo era, especially through albums like Golden, has shown a different side of him. More vulnerable, more direct, more honest about who he is becoming. The world loves perfect idols. But perfection is lonely. When you are seen as flawless, you are not allowed to fall. When you are called golden, you are not allowed to rust. Every mistake feels like a betrayal of the image people built around you. Jungkook's nervousness might be his way of quietly breaking that cage. Did I end Japan? He spoke warmly about ARMY. He described how their cheering felt unique, perfect, then silent, then perfect again. That kind of detail shows how deeply he observes his audience. He doesn't just perform for them, he feels them. He remembers them. That connection is not mechanical. It is emotional. And emotional connection always carries risk. When you care, you can be hurt. When you care, you can fail. When you care, you can feel fear. Some fans say his confession makes him more human. Others say he was always human, but we refuse to see it. We preferred the legend to the man, but the man is standing in front of us now, saying he gets nervous and still walks on stage anyway. That should not scare us. That should inspire us. Because if someone with his talent, his fame, his success still feels fear, then fear is not a sign you are weak. It is a sign you are alive. The industry he lives in is not gentle. Idols are trained to smile through pain. They are taught to hide exhaustion. They are rewarded for silence. In that world, honesty is dangerous. Saying I'm nervous is almost an act of rebellion. Yet Jungkook said it calmly, without drama, without apology. He didn't say, I'm scared, save me. He said, I get nervous, but I try to enjoy it. That but changes everything. That it means fear does not control him. It walks with him, but it does not lead. Fans who worry that pressure is eroding his confidence should look at his actions, not just his words. He is still releasing music. He is still performing. He is still meeting fans. He is still traveling, creating, dreaming. People who have lost confidence often hide. Jungkook is still standing in the light. The debate among fans, human or broken, honest or fragile, says more about us than about him. We project our own fears onto his words. Those who struggle with anxiety see themselves in him. Those who fear burnout fear it for him too. But Jungkook did not ask to be a symbol of weakness or strength. He simply shared a truth, And maybe the most powerful part of that truth is this: even someone the world calls perfect still has to fight his own heart before every performance. Imagine how many young people watched that interview and felt less alone. Imagine how many artists felt seen. Imagine how many fans realized that their idol is not a machine,